File. On. Demand. At Queen's Bench. A People's Public Court of Record. The Law Courts. Openshaw Place. Ring Way. Preston, Lancashire, England. Aggrieved party. IA Man. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX XXXXXXXXXXXXXXX XXXXXXXXXXXXX Wrongdoers. A man presiding as District Judge Ross, a man presiding as David Riches, Court Bailiff, a man presiding as Tony Thornborough, Court Bailiff, Civic Centre, Chapel Street, Blackpool, Lancashire, England. FY15DQ. IA Man X exclaims that the wrongdoers did the following. 1. Trespass on my property. IA Man. Signed _ blank, date, blank, 2014. File. On. Demand. Court of Record at Queen's Bench, The Law Courts, Openshaw Place, Ring Way, Preston, Lancashire, England. Claimant. IA Man. XXXXXXXXXXX Prosecutor XXXXXXXXXXXXX XXXXXXXXX XXXXXXXXX XXXXXXX Wrongdoer. Tony Thornborough, a man, acting as court enforcement officer. CO Civic Centre, Chapel Street, Blackpool, Lancashire, England. FY15DQ. IA Man X, hereinafter known as I, me, mine, the claimant, claims that on the 16th of May 2013 a man presiding under a title of District Judge Ross exceeded his public oath of office to aid trespass on my property. District Judge Ross had his jurisdiction challenged, which he failed to prove. The judge, despite being given a full public court of record showing that a claimant had been paid for the damage caused to his property, to which he witnessed, he continued to preside on the matter as an equity case to create revenue for the courts under the guise of a criminal offense. Please see point number 1A. Judge witnessed receipts showing the alleged claimant in this matter had been financially rewarded by the claimant prior to the local public constabulary becoming involved. Judge witnessed the facts that a man and a woman presiding under the titles of a police constable and a woman police constable that they gave legalese advice when not qualified to do so in order to engage me in private business between them and the judge. The judge witnessed the fact that the claimant required the above facts from the man and a woman presiding under the titles of a police constable and a woman police constable to show where they jurisdiction to give legal advice, and where that was ignored in order to hinder the case. Please see point 1B. C. F. Jespers vs. Belgium, Archbold 16-83. At the hearing on the 16th of May 2013 there was no injured party present. The person present had already been awarded prior to the police being involved. The judge continued to ignore the public court of record before him, and ignored the facts that the claimant had already settled this matter and that judge and wrongdoers was in contempt of the public court of record. The judge, who had not suffered a loss, nor had anybody before him who had, made an equitable order whereby Reedley Magistrates Court would become the beneficiary of this equity. It is fact that at no time had the judge confirmed that this was an equity case, and it is fact that the judge was not authorized to preside on an equity matter and therefore concealed this equity as a criminal matter and thus stepped outside of his public jurisdiction to engage in this matter under private business. Cf. Snell's Equity 5009. He who seeks equity must do equity. Cf. Snell's Equity 5015. He who comes into equity must come with clean hands. Judge then instructed a David Greensmith, a justice's clerk, to issue a notice of fine and collection order. It is fact that a justice's clerk is not authorized to make an order of fine. It is fact that this order was challenged, however the court and David Greensmith were in dereliction of duty by failing to act according and ignored that challenge. See point 1C. It is fact that I issued a promissory note for £965 to the court's funds office, to which the court's funds office accepted. See point 1D. A void a flat initio was served upon Blackpool Magistrates Court voiding the order due to the district judge not having authority to preside on an equity matter, and that the matter being settled with the alleged injured party and all damage and loss resolved prior to District Judge Ross becoming involved. It is fact that District Judge Ross and Blackpool County Court were in dereliction of the duty by overruling the void a flat initio, High Court rulings prevents any judge or court from dismissing a void court order to void or set the case aside. See point 1e. Wrongdoers issued a card at my property using criminal coercion to extort £965. I spoke to wrongdoers to require proof that a debt existed to give authority for wrongdoers to trespass on my property. Wrongdoers failed to produce such evidence. See point F. On Thursday, the 16th of January 2014 at 0815, wrongdoers with another man, David Riches, trespassed on my property to do a common law assault on me, a man. Wrongdoers aided by this other man acted as judges in their own cause by dismissing a void court order and wanted to continue to proceed trespassing on my property. Wrongdoers instructed a third-party public agent, police constable, to engage in wrongdoers' private proceedings in order to further trespass on my property. The third-party public agent informed wrongdoers that they were not in possession of the correct paperwork to trespass on my property, and that third-party public agent refused to perform a common law assault and trespass on my property. Wrongdoers stated that they were following orders and that they had been told to ignore the void a flat initio and that they were taking the aggrieved party to Blackpool magistrates whether he liked it or not. Wrongdoers trespassed on my property and took me to Blackpool Magistrates Court. Two public servants at Blackpool Magistrates Court exceeded their public jurisdiction by presiding on equity matters outside of their jurisdiction in order to obtain funds for Reedley Magistrates Court, to who confirmed this was a equity matter as they are calling themselves the beneficiary of the property they have trespassed upon. A public servant who refused to give his name, gave financial advice and stated that the court's funds office did not receive a promissory note from me. IA Mannix required a copy of the arrest warrant from Blackpool Magistrates Court in writing to support this claim. The legal advisor at Blackpool Magistrates Court has refused to provide a copy of this document despite no point of law allowing them to do so. IA Mannix claims that the court's funds office accepted £965 in the form of a promissory note sent recorded delivery. C. F. Lord Denning, C. Jackson v. Murphy 1887, 40 LR 92. IA Mannix claims that wrongdoers have trespassed upon my property by using coercion by abusing the duties. See point 1g. IA Mannix claims that wrongdoers have failed to provide any point of law that authorized them to trespass on my property and cause me loss. A man, blank, underscore, blank. Date underscore, blank, 2014. File. On. Demand. Court of Record at Queen's Bench, The Law Courts, Openshaw Place, Ring Way. Preston, Lancashire, England. Claimant. IA Man. Ex-prosecutor, X. XXXXXXXXXXXXX. Wrongdoer. Tony Thornborough, a man, acting as court enforcement officer. C.O. Civic Centre. Chapel Street. Blackpool, Lancashire, England. FY15DQ. IA Man XX presents the statement of facts at Queen's Bench 1A, the full court of record showing. Counterclaim that was not disputed by the counter-defendant court of record of the facts. Motion to challenge the jurisdiction of the court statement of the facts. Magistrates Court becoming involved. Motion to show cause. Motion for equitable estoppel. Motion in limine. 1B discovery. Facts requested from the police which was ignored. Proof by way of receipts the claimant had been awarded prior to wrongdoer 1, man, a woman presiding under the titles of a police constable and a woman police constable becoming involved. 1C exceeding jurisdiction, dereliction of duty order made by clerk outside his jurisdiction, challenge of that order which was ignored. 1D promissory note. Promissory note served upon the court funds office and proof of delivery with Royal Mail as my witness. 1E void a flat initio. A void a flat initio created by the public court of record served at Blackpool Magistrates Court as the order was void from the beginning. 1F Tony Thornborough's card. A card issued by Tony Thornborough exceeding his public jurisdiction by acting as a member of the judiciary and trespassing on my property, telling me that IA must attend the Magistrates Court ASAP, but then stating do not attend the court without speaking to Tony Thornborough first. 1G proof of further payments through coercion. Bank statements showing my property being taken under coercion of the threat of my freedom being restricted. IA Man, blank, underscore, blank, date, blank, underscore, blank, file. On. Demand. Court of Record at Queen's Bench. The Law Courts, Openshaw Place, Ring Way. Preston, Lancashire, England. Claimant: I.A. Mann. Ex-prosecutor: X. XXXXXX. 4X. XXXXX. Wrongdoer: Tony Thornborough, a man, acting as court enforcement officer. C.O. Civic Centre, Chapel Street, Blackpool, Lancashire, England. FY15DQ. I.A. Mann Cat. Queen's Bench at the Public Court of Record, requires the court to order the following remedy be made. 1. That a man XX is authorized to bring this matter to a public court of record without hindrance of being asked or required to submit fee to submit this case, as all courts are public and are publicly funded, and justice comes before profit. 2. That a man presiding under the title of District Judge Ross is refused the right to speak, as he has had the opportunity to settle this matter prior to court. 3. That a man presiding under the title of Tony Thornborough is refused the right to speak, as he has had the opportunity to settle this matter prior to court. 4. That a man presiding under the title of David Riches is refused the right to speak, as he has had the opportunity to settle this matter prior to court. 5. All authority for any district, circuit deputy judge to practice law from the bench is removed. 6. That the Court of Record orders the full restoration of Neil McCowan's property with immediate effect from Blackpool Magistrates Court. 7. That any authority for any court official to change the titles of any of the submitted documents is removed. 8. That wrongdoers is ordered to pay the claimant £2,666 damages. I.A. Mann, blank, underscore, blank, date, blank, 2014.